I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store, whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. Makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. Something like 88 different items in our online store. Best said, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also find us on TikTok. We sure could use a little bit of support over there on social media, so please spread the links to the show around. Give us a comment and whatever it is, help us out. Go over to social media. Same thing on YouTube. Please jump in the trenches over there. Thank you so much to our newest subscribers. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Going to be putting more focus and emphasis on the YouTube channel in the coming weeks as we try to build that operation up. It is the future of podcasting. It is the future of this show to have a strong video presence, as we've tried to do since the beginning. So please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Renegades of Puck YouTube channel. You'll get all the latest episodes of the podcast, full episodes of Renegades of Puck TV. You'll also get the breakdown segments of our previews, our recaps, our interviews, our analysis segments, and so much more right there. Very easy to find, all on very well put together playlists on our YouTube channel. Again, that's Renegades of Puck. The audio podcast, well, you'll be able to find that again somewhere at some point. We'll have an update on that again for you soon. Venmo, we sure would appreciate any donations you could make. Go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching and listening at home, we have been able to make significant upgrades to this project that we started just about 3 years ago now. So if you can spare $1, it will go every penny to helping the Renegades of Puck, and it will certainly be a big deal to helping us out here in the bunker. Again, that's Venmo. Scan the QR code or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo today and support your local Renegades. Now, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 897. That is right. Time for show number 897. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 75 games played. They have a record of 43, 28, and 4, 90 points. Has the Nashville Predators 6 points shy of a third place and automatic qualifying playoff berth in the Central Division, and also 6 points ahead of the nearest teams below them in the standings, which would be their next opponent, the St. Louis Blues. Before we get into the St. Louis Blues matchup, though, let's finish talking about the Predators and get the standings update. Predators on home ice, which is where their next game will take place, have a record of 21-16-1. The Predators scored 244 goals. They've given up 228. Goal differential down quite a bit over the last week, now plus 16 on the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, we are right at the end of the season. So let's talk about the updated standings in the division. The Dallas Stars have clinched their playoff berth. They are in first place with 103 points. The Colorado Avalanche have also clinched their playoff berth. Second place with 100 points. The Winnipeg Jets are in third place with 96 points. All three of those teams have played in 75 games, and unless something kind of wild happens over the last couple of games of the season, it will be these three teams fighting it out for the final and top spot and seedings. Right now, it certainly looks like the Dallas Stars have the opportunity and the inside edge to winning the Central Division, setting up a Colorado-Winnipeg series in the first round. Now the Nashville Predators are in fourth place in the Central Division, just on the outside of the automatic qualifying berths, looking in, but well in control in the wild card situation. Update that after the division. Preds have 90 points. They are 6 points ahead of the St. Louis Blues in sixth place. Minnesota Wild are in seventh place, not eliminated yet at 81 points, but essentially are out of it at this point in time, unless they have a miracle. The Arizona Coyotes, Chicago Blackhawks are both eliminated from playoff contention. They will continue to play their schedule, but their season is over. In the wild card race, the Nashville Predators have 90 points and control wild card one spot, but the LA Kings are creeping up rather quickly now. The LA Kings in the second wild card spot have 89 points. The St. Louis Blues, the first team on the outside, looking in at 84 points, then Minnesota at 81. A couple other teams not yet eliminated, but that will probably start happening as of tonight's action after the Nashville Predators take on the St. Louis Blues. So for the Nashville Predators, just a 1-point cushion over the second wild card spot, but a 6-point cushion and a chance to extend that and pretty much put the St. Louis Blues season to rest. So let's talk about what's coming up for this Nashville Predators team. It is a very short schedule remaining on the season. After this game against the Blues, the Preds will be in Long Island on Saturday, take on the Islanders, and then Sunday in New Jersey to take on the Devils. Tuesday, back home versus Winnipeg. And then on the 12th of April at Chicago, the 13th of April, back home versus Columbus Blue Jackets. That's the final home game of the season. On the 15th of April at the Pittsburgh Penguins, that is the final game of the season. Now, for the Preds and the St. Louis Blues, this is the third and final regular season meeting between the Central Division rivals. First time they played was back on 11/24, November the 24th. Was the Preds scoring an 8-3 victory, one of the Preds' more impressive victories of the year. Lankinen picked up the win, going 36 out of 39. It was Forsberg and Evangelista each with 2 goals. O'Reilly, Sherwood, and Stastny also chipped in with goals in that game. Jordan Binnington took the loss, was pulled during that game, only went 16 out of 20. The Predators also scored a victory on February the 17th, also in St. Louis, this time 5-2. Saros got the victory in that one, 35 out of 37. Evangelista and Forsberg, O'Reilly, Sissons, and Shen were your goal scorers, so 5 different goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Binnington, 28 out of 32. He took the loss. The Nashville Predators are 2-0 on the season, 4 out of 4 points. Outscored the Blues 13-5 at this point, and it would behoove them to go ahead and sweep the regular season series coming up in this third and final game. Now, for the St. Louis Blues, the Nashville Predators' next opponent, they've also skated in 75 games this season. They have a record of 40, 31, and 484 points, has them 6 points behind the Nashville Predators, 3 points behind the LA Kings for the final wild card playoff spot. The Blues on the road are 17, 18, and 2. They've scored 216 goals and given up 226 against. That's a goal differential of -10. In their most recent stretch of play, their last 5, on the 23rd of March was a 5-4 overtime win at Minnesota. On the 25th of March, a 2-1 overtime loss versus Vegas. On the 28th of March, a 5-3 win versus the Calgary Flames. On the 30th of March, a 4-0 loss versus San Jose. And most recently on April 1st, a 3-2 overtime win versus the Edmonton Oilers. Binnington picking up the victory in that game, going 36 out of 38. Let's talk about the rankings and the numbers in between the two teams in this matchup. The Nashville Predators goals for per game, 3.23 is 12th best in the NHL. The St. Louis Blues, 2.83 is 26th in the NHL. In the goals against category, the Preds are 3.04. That is 16th best in the National Hockey League. Goals against for the St. Louis Blues, 3 per game is 15th. Shots for, 31.7 is 10th. 28.6 for St. Louis is 24th. Shots against for the Nashville Predators, 30.4 per game is 20th in the NHL. And shots against for St. Louis is 32.3. That is 25th overall in the league. When it comes to special teams, the Nashville Predators, one of the few teams they are ahead of in the league on the power play. 20.2%. Conversion rate is 20th overall. 50 conversions, 248 opportunities. The St. Louis Blues are at 17.6% conversion rate, 25th overall in the NHL. 40 out of 227 opportunities. On the penalty kill, it is the St. Louis Blues, though, with the much better metric in this category. 16th best kill rate in the league, 79.4%, 40 power play goals against, but catch this number, 11 shorthanded goals on the season for St. Louis. That is 4th best in the NHL. On the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators, 76.6% kill rate, 26th overall in the NHL, 53 power play goals on the season. When it comes to the individual statistics for these teams, let's start with the Nashville Predators. No changes after the Boston Bruins game. 41 goals for Philip Forsberg, 43 assists, 84 points total. Roman Josi has 19 and 57 for 76. Nyquist, 22 goals and 46 assists for 68 points. Ryan O'Reilly's at 25 goals and 36 points for 61 points. Tommy Novak, 15 goals, 25 assists for 40 points overall in the season. Over on the St. Louis Blues side of things, it is Thomas at 23 and 51 for 74 points on the season, leading the Blues. Buchnevich has 26 goals and 32 assists for 58 points. Kyrou, 25 goals, 33 assists for 58 points. Saad, 25 and 14 for 39. And Shen, yes, the other Shen, 17 goals, 22 assists for 39 points. And Binnington in net, anticipated to get the start, 27, 19, and 4 on the season, 9.13 save percentage, 2.82 goals against average with 3 shutouts. UC Saros, 32-23-4 for the Nashville Predators, 907 save percentage, 2.81 goals against average, also with 3 shutouts. It's a pivotal and important game. The St. Louis Blues season is on the line. They are very close to getting eliminated. The Nashville Predators looking to secure and take care of finalizing that playoff spot and clinching their playoff berth. They won't be able to do that tonight, but they can go a long way towards getting there against the St. Louis Blues team with a regulation victory. That would also mean sweeping the regular season series against their division rival. That's got you all set up for the Preds and the Blues. Let's go back and talk about the Preds and the Bruins at Bridgestone Arena. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We'll go all the way back to April 2nd of the year 2024. Already April of 2024. Nashville Predators versus the Boston Bruins, wrapping up the 2-game regular season series between the interconference matchup. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Sissons, and Glass. And then we have Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carey, Stastny and Shen. So Fabro gets the night off with a healthy scratch. UC Saros gets the start in net. We're a minute and 47 seconds into the first period. UC Saros coming up with a save on Pastrnak. First shot on goal of the game for either squad. 151. Saros another save, this time on Heinen. 4:49 of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on McAvoy with the glove, snatches that one out of the air. Bruins off to a good start here early in the first 5 minutes at Bridgestone Arena. We'll find Linus Ullmark making his first save at 5:03 on Ryan McDonough. First shot on goal for Nashville. Nothing real impressive, but at least it was on the net. 7:16 into the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Pasternak's one-timer with the big kick out. Big-time shot, big-time save by the starting goaltender for the Nashville Predators. The 21 mark of the first period. It's Linus Ullmark coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at 9:20 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Beecher. We're already past the halfway point of the first period, and things are moving along quickly. At 11:25 of the first period, we find our first special teams action as Pasternak's off to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. More retaliating on Luzon. Luzon convinced Pastrnak to take the bait on this particular play. Unfortunately for the Nashville Predators going into this power play, it did not give them the significant offensive uptick you would expect, as Saros had to make a shorthanded breakaway save on McAvoy. Then Saros had to come up with another shorthanded save on Zacha at the 14:14 mark of the first period. Back to 5-on-5 hockey after the Nashville Predators unable to generate a single shot on goal. Ullmark comes up with a save on Luke Shen at 15:09 of the first period. It's Ullmark coming with a save on O'Reilly. It was by far the best chance of the game to this point for the Nashville Predators. O'Reilly with a really good scoring chance at close range. We hit the 17:10 mark of the first period, and it's Luke Shen this time off the box. 2 minutes for roughing. Saros goes to work, comes up with a big save on Pastrnak, and then Saros comes up with another save on Coyle. Has to come up with one more save with the blocker on Van Riemsdyk before coming to the end of that penalty kill scenario. Over the final seconds of the first period, no other events would transpire, so we hit the end of the first with the Boston Bruins out shooting the Nashville Predators 11-6, each team with one power play opportunity. We are 1:05 into the second period onto the clean sheet, and it's McAvoy off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Colton Sissons. That'll give the Nashville Predators their second power play opportunity of the game, and Ullmark will come out with a save on Glass. So the difference between the first power play and the second power play, well, the Predators got one shot on goal, but they did not give up multiple shorthanded scoring opportunities this time. 3:16 into the second period. Now it's UC Saros coming with a save on Frederick, the 5:10 mark of the second period. It's Ullmark coming with a save on Philip Forsberg. There was traffic in the area adjacent to the crease area, but not enough to affect Ullmark on the shot. 6:52 in the second period. Now Saros comes with a save on Pastrnak. Loose puck causes mass panic for all of the Nashville Predators. It ends up being kicked out and cleared to the corner, but it was in an incredibly dangerous area with some incredibly dangerous offensive players for the Bruins lurking around the blue paint. The 7:31 of the second period. Now Ullmark comes up with a save on Zucker's heavy shot at the 11:04 mark. Now past the halfway point of the game already. 11:04 in the second. Ullmark comes up with a glove save on Stastny from long range. The traffic had unfortunately just vacated the area, so Ullmark saw this one coming from all the way at the top of the zone. 11:48 of the second period. It's Saros coming with a save on Boquist. 13:28 of the second period. Ullmark comes up with a save on Carrier's long shot. At the 14:19 mark of the second period, it's DeBrusque off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. This is going to give the Nashville Predators another opportunity, their third of the game on the power play. Ullmark will come out with a save on O'Reilly pretty much immediately to start the power play, and the Predators would have some slick passing in close range, setting up the captain, Roman Josi, to fire the puck into the empty net. And with Ullmark completely out of position and the entirety of the net open, Roman Josi hits the post. That's right, the captain, Roman Josi, will probably never get that easy of a look at a power play goal again. Josi hit the post on this one. The Predators are denied over the course of their power play for the third time. 16:46 now of the second period. Saros comes with a save on Pasternak's heavy one-timer, and Pasternak was just firing the puck well from anywhere and everywhere, and he has such great skill. There's no doubt that's the reason why he scores so many goals. 17:22 of the second period now. Smith off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. Tough to see where this happened on the broadcast. Kind of happened a little bit behind the play. Nobody got a great look at it, but it makes no difference. The Nashville Predators are shorthanded, and they would put up one outstanding penalty kill. They would not give up a single shot on goal against. At the 19:40 mark of the second period, it's Ullmark coming with a save on Smith off of the rush, and that would do it for the second period. Still no score going into the intermission after 40 minutes, but the shots on goal, this has changed quite dramatically. The Bruins have 17. The Nashville Predators also have 17. So the Bruins went from 11 to 17. It would mean 6 in the second period. And the Predators went from 6 in the first period to 17. 11. So the shots completely flipped and reversed, but still no score in this game. To be honest with you, both goaltenders playing quite well. Ullmark not having nearly as strong a chances against Saros, playing a very good, strong game at this point. So the shots on goal are 17 apiece. At the end of the second period, we have no score. We flip over to the third period, and we find our first action at 1:22 of the third period. Saros comes with a save on Marchand. At 1:51 of the third, Ullmark comes with a save on Zucker. We flip over to the backside of the sheet, and we find at 3:47 of the third period, it's Ullmark coming up with a glove save on the captain, Roman Josi. At the 5:37 mark of the third period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Laurie. 6:41 now into the third period, it's Saros coming with a save on Lindholm. Plus, seconds later, a follow-up by Frederick. Plus, seconds after that, a follow-up by McAvoy. The Boston Bruins really pouring on the pressure. UC Saros is one of his strongest sequences of the entire game coming up right here. 3 saves over the span of a couple of seconds. Now to the 7:40 mark of the third period, and it's Ullmark coming up with a save on Philip Forsberg at the 8:34 mark now of the third. Ullmark comes up with a save on Jankowski. 8:40, Ullmark, another save. Glass's backhand, that leads to a scramble and some mayhem, but just like UC Saros was able to survive that same exact scenario earlier in the game, Ullmark also survives this. The puck squeaks out away from the dangerous areas, and the Boston Bruins are able to regain control. At the 11:08 mark of the third period, it's UC Saros coming up with another save on Boquist. 11:33 now of the third period, just past the halfway point of the period. It's Laurie out of the box. 2 minutes for hooking against Novak. Novak's strong drive to the net led to a good scoring opportunity. Laurie hooks him to prevent a better scoring opportunity. Will head off to the box, giving the Nashville Predators an outrageously great opportunity here yet again on the power play. Ullmark comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi, but then Roman Josi ends up pinching, getting way down into the zone, cannot keep the puck in, and Coyle is off to the races. The second shorthanded breakaway of the game for the Boston Bruins, and this time it is a conversion for Coyle, his 24th of the season, beating UC Saros. That gives the Boston Bruins a 1-0 lead. So the Preds had the Bruins right where they wanted them on the power play, and they give up a shorthanded goal on the breakaway when Romagnosi pinches too deep into the zone. 15:03 now into the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Zacha at the 15:30 mark of the third period. Allmark comes up with a save on Zucker. At the 16:36 mark, Saros comes up with a save on Frederick. Nashville Predators trying to get back into this one in 17-17. That's where Zacha puts that to rest with his 19th goal of the season. It was a tap-in from the top of the crease. Good passing by the Boston Bruins set this play up to make it 2-0 in favor of Boston now, and the crowd for the Bruins was outrageously large at this game. 18:36, Pastrnak puts in his 46th goal of the season. It was the empty netter for the Boston Bruins, making this game 3-0, a game that was 0-0 until past the midway point of the third period. Ends up as a 3-0 victory for the Boston Bruins. Shots on goal for the Bruins, 33, Nashville 32. And for the Nashville Predators returning to home ice, they did put up a valiant effort against the Boston Bruins here in this game. Only 6 shots on goal in the first period, up to 17 shots in the second, then up to 32 by the end of the game. They definitely got their scoring opportunities, but this is one of those pretty clear-cut cases where you can look and say, well, the Nashville Predators power play cost them this game. They could not get anything done offensively, and they gave up a shorthanded goal against the captain. Romagnosi misses an empty net and also is caught deep on the pinch on the power play. Those are exactly the clear-cut reasons why the Nashville Predators fell in this game. Overall, it wasn't a bad effort. The score makes it look a little more lopsided. UC Saros, I thought, was tremendous up until the very end of this game. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. The Nashville Predators fall on home ice to the Boston Bruins, 3-0. Now a 3-game losing streak for the Nashville Predators. They'll look to rebound. We've got analysis, we've got box score, and we've got so much more coming up on this game right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Now let's do some analysis, give you some opinion. And to be honest with you, it's very rare that a storyline in a game is this clean with this low of events. So it's going to be pretty easy discussion to have. It's going to be a fairly quick discussion to have. UC Saros was 29 out of 31 in this game. I thought overall he was strong and did all that he could. The first goal that was given up was a shorthanded breakaway. He had already stopped one of those previously in this game. The second goal against was a tap-in from the top of the net after the Bruins were having their way with the Nashville Predators. Then the empty net goal. So UC Saros, I thought, performed very well in this game, and I do not believe that this game was his fault at all. There's only so much he can do when the team in front of him does not score, but also gives up breakaways and glorious chances standing right on top of the crease, wide open. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, 0 points in this game, 11 total shots on goal. They could not finish. They had the puck around the net. They were involved in some scrambles several times. These three players have been able to finish all season long. O'Reilly has had a little bit of a dip in recent weeks in his offensive output. There's no denying that. Forsberg and Nyquist, though, have been as hot as anybody on the team, and neither of them were able to finish. O'Reilly's golden chances right in front led to absolutely nothing. So 11 shots on goal for the top line of the Nashville Predators. You ask the top guys to go out there and get you one like in the Detroit game. They could not do it in this particular game. And speaking of just a rarity, the captain Romagnosi misses an open net. That was some great passing right there on that power play. For as ineffective as the power play was in this game, this one particular sequence of passes up until Romagnosi hits the post was absolute perfection. So Yossi misses the empty net, open net, while the goaltender is basically down and out of play. He got caught on the outside of the post. He wasn't going to be able to get back into the net. So Yossi misses the open net from about 8 feet. It's something that is not going to happen hardly ever in his career. And then later on, when the Nashville Preds seemed like they had the power play that was maybe going to get them the goal, that was going to give them the victory on home ice, Roman Yossi pinches way too deep into the zone on the power play, and it leads to a shorthanded breakaway against, and that was it right there. Roman Yossi misses on a power play, and then on another power play, pinches too deep and gives up a shorthanded breakaway against that leads to a goal. So it is a rare game when the captain, Roman Yossi, is the reason for the loss, but in this particular game, there is no denial that he missed an open net on a power play and also got caught out of position on another power play, leading to a shorthanded breakaway. Roman Yossi's not going to be in this situation too many times in his career, and he's certainly been fantastic as of late. But in this particular game, it's pretty clear cut that between Roman Yossi and the power play, which he was a huge part of, that was the reason the Nashville Predators won. It is as clinical as that. And the special teams, the power play for the Predators, 0 for 4 in this game, only 3 shots on goal, missed the open net as we just chronicled, and gave up a shorthanded goal against. It is as bad as it can be. The power play looked frankly lifeless and dead. No wonder that Andrew Brunette has had the teams practicing on the power play ever since that Bruins game wrapped up. They might have started talking about it as soon as the game ended. They should have. 0 for 4, 3 shots on goal, missed an open net, and gave up a shorthanded goal against. That's how a power play can end up costing you a game. That's going to do it for the analysis. Again, this is one of those rare occasions where it is so clear-cut and so clinical that there's no reason to continue searching for data points or analytics or anything. It is the fact that the captain, Roman Yossi, failed on the 2 biggest plays of the game, and the power play and special teams failed for the entirety of the game, and the Predators lost on home ice to a really good Boston Bruins team. Let's hear from our good friends, Stripe Digital Solutions. Then we'll be back with the good cold hard numbers known as the box score.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. The box score is actually going to be an even quicker segment than normal than the analysis segment was, because with 0 goals and 0 assists on the board, there's nothing to talk about in those categories. So we'll move to the shots on goal category, where we'll find Filip Forsberg led the Nashville Predators along with Ryan O'Reilly with 5 shots on goal. Roman Yossi had 4 and Zucker had 3. When it comes to blocked shots, incredibly low number of blocked shots in this game. 2 was the lead for the Nashville Predators, and only Roman Yossi and McDonough were able to get to 2. A lot of zeros in that category. The Nashville Predators have been pretty good at blocking shots all season long. Not in this particular circumstance. When it comes to the physical components of the game, it was Sherwood leading the way with 6 hits, and then you had Luzon adding 4, just below the average he needs to keep pace to break the NHL record, already the Nashville Predators' all-time hits leader for a single season. When it comes to time on ice leaders, it was Ryan O'Reilly, 21:50 total time on ice, Gus Nyquist, 21:11, and then Filip Forsberg, 18:47. The least amount of time skated was 12:42 by Michael McCarron in this game. On the defensive side of things, 26:05 for Yossi, 23:32 for McDonough. All of your other defensemen under 20 minutes. Luke Schenn all the way down at 11 minutes and 37 seconds, 4 minutes less than Stastny in this game. Schenn clearly not earning the trust of his coach here in this game. When it comes to the power play, we've talked about it at least 2-3 times already. We're going to do it again. 0 for 4 in this game. Your power play time on ice Leaders, which were completely ineffective minutes, Ryan O'Reilly at 5:07, Nyquist at 4:56, Forsberg at 4:31, and Yossi at 5:36. The penalty kill was 2-4-2, so that is good news. Let's celebrate the penalty kill time on ice leaders. It was Luzon at 2:25, Carrier at 1:40, Sissons at 1:35, and Sherwood at 1:31. A couple other things falling out of the box score to talk about. Face-off winning percentage was good for the Nashville Predators, 66%. That's one of the highest numbers they put up in that category in a while. Single digits on block shots, only 9 block shots for the entirety of this game. That, frankly, it's not good enough. It's not. 23 hits for the game, 8 takeaways, 7 giveaways, and that's going to do it for the box score. There's really not a whole lot to talk about. Again, we're not going to just struggle to pull data points out to continue beating up on this one. It's clinical. It's obvious. We all saw what happened. We know what happened. And there's a look at the insight to how it happened. And toe-to-toe versus the Bees for 50 minutes. You know what? There's the positive. The Predators have lost 3 games in a row, and that sucks, and that's not great. But the Predators have found a way to come away with a couple of positives. They're learning lessons. They're gaining their momentum back, and this Boston Bruins game was far, far better than the previous 2 games in Denver, Colorado, and out there in Arizona against the Coyotes. The Nashville Predators went toe-to-toe with a team that everyone considers is a Stanley Cup candidate. Maybe a lot of people don't have them as favored as they did a year ago, but they are a juggernaut of a team. They continue winning. They're incredibly professional. They have a high skill on offense, defense, goaltending. The Boston Bruins have all of it. They are the total package of a hockey team right now, and they're a very difficult team to play against. The Predators lost 2 games against the Bruins this year. It would be a miracle if they got a chance to play the Bruins again this year, but it would be fantastic. I would love a best-of-7 series between Nashville and Boston, because that would mean the Nashville Predators are on one hell of a run. The Boston Bruins would just be doing expectations at that point. But you went toe-to-toe with the Boston Bruins for 50 minutes, and that was good. Collapsed at the end of the game. Special teams, got to clean that up, got to get it a lot better, got to get that momentum, that aggressiveness. The Boston Bruins showed you how to do it. They're big, they're tough, they're physical, they're bad. They are the Boston Bruins, as they have been throughout their entire franchise history. You hung in there with them, though, and you played a decent game, and now you got to take whatever positive you can out of that and take that momentum into this St. Louis games. There can be no quarter for the St. Louis Blues. You can not offer them any chance to be a part of this hockey game at Bridgestone Arena. It is a huge game. You have a chance to put yourself that much closer to clinching your playoff spot and put the St. Louis Blues pretty much out for the season as far as you have to be concerned about. So the next game is the biggest game. The last 3 games were all games that lessons can be learned from. The streak had to come to an end. The Predators had to get back to the basics, and frankly, they had to learn how to play a solid team game again. They did that against the Boston Bruins. They just could not get it done in the power play, and their biggest players could not come through at the most important moments in that game. Honestly, that game should have went to overtime at 0-2-0 if Roman Josi doesn't give up that shorthanded breakaway on that deep pinch. Then I think that the Nashville Predators can finish that last 7 minutes without giving up a goal to the Boston Bruins, even though the Bruins were going to press right there. But I would have liked to have seen him make it to overtime at 0-0 and then fight it out for that last point. But the Nashville Predators were unable to do so. St. Louis is the mission. That's the objective, and the Nashville Predators need 2 points against the Blues. Get out of this 3-game losing streak, get back on the right course of action, and get set, because after St. Louis, back-to-back this weekend with the Islanders and the Devils, and then the Winnipeg Jets, Chicago Blackhawks, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and then it'll be time for the NHL playoffs. That's going to do it for Operation Number 897. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you sticking with the Renegades of Puck. We'll be making some announcements on the show and some changes to the show coming up here soon, but you can expect full speed ahead for the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs. Let's put a focus and a concentration on that YouTube channel. Let's get those numbers up. Let's pass those links around, and let's get this operation started going back in a positive direction. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.